we can't deny that classical orchestral music is an art form that comes out of Western Europe, and it was written by mostly white men for a white audience. I mean, that is just essentially a historical fact. But I think we have to, as I was saying before, we have to think about, in the larger sense, what great art means. Great art comes from and speaks to a human experience. So I don't believe that you have to have been alive in 1750 and been white and male and upper class to understand the pain or the sorrow or the joy or the curiosity of a symphony of Mozart or Beethoven or, right? So we have a role here in translating those messages for a contemporary audience. And we have to understand that that contemporary audience is a diverse audience. I mean, we have the great fortune of operating in Toronto, one of the world's most diverse cities. And if you don't have your eye on how do we translate that message to the people who live here now, you go out of business, besides, again, it being the right thing to do. And so a piece of that is kind of, well, how does that affect your product, right? In our instance, what are you putting on stage? Are you putting on stage performances and artists who will speak to the audience that you're trying to reach? And again, I think this works in really any corporate context. Are you making products that audiences want? I think there's always going to be that balance between legacy product, what you became known for, and that product through the lens of a certain modernity. So in my business, that might be playing a sitar concerto of Ravi Shankar in connection with a piece of Philip Glass, in connection with a Beethoven symphony, right? And so we're looking at orchestral music with expected instruments, unexpected instruments over a period of a couple hundred years, right? But I think many organizations, many companies are doing exactly that, holding on to that core, but also building out with an idea of creating products that new or contemporary audiences might be interested in. And of course, I think the other piece is how do you have a workforce that represents the audience that you want to have? Because we have to understand that as open as we might be, we've never walked in someone else's shoes. So how do you have the people who are making those important decisions and even executing that work as diverse as the audience that you're trying to attract, or the customer that you're trying to attract?